Hello everyone. Thanks for joining this webinar. My name is Ashwini and I am from Petrol Support Team. In this presentation, I'll be covering how to enable monitoring for PostgreSQL using BMC Helix or BHOM. In this webinar, we will learn and understand system requirement and compatibility checks before installing QM and configuring the monitoring. Then we will have a look at how to create package from the BHOM console and how it can be deployed in two ways, that is QM and run silent install. A quick demo on how to configure PostgreSQL monitoring from BHOM console. Along with this, we will verify database connectivity using config test and WMI connectivity test. We will also learn how to enable QM debug and locate the QM debug files on the server. At the end, we will discuss some issues and basic troubleshooting around those areas. Before installing the product, verify that the target computer meets the system requirements listed in the following table. This section provides release-specific information about requirements and supported resources for the Petrol for PostgreSQL product. To receive full support for BMC product, you must have that product installed in supported environment as specified in the BMC product documentation. Let us understand how to create package from the BHOM console. For that, go to BHOM URL, go to Administration and Repository, click on Create, select the target operating system along with the platform, select the QM name as PostgreSQL along with the version that you would like to install it on agent machine. Click Next. Provide the installation directory. Provide the package name. And save this package. There are two ways to install this package. Go to Administration and Repository section. Select the package and you can see that copy install script and run this script on the agent device, or go to agent device, select the agent on which this package needs to be installed and mention deploy and install packages. We have already installed package on this server, so we will not rerun this again. Now let's create the policy. For that, go to BHOM console and hit on Create button. Select your agent device. Click on Preview. Agent is selected. Provide the policy name. Select the policy precedence. Enable the policy. Now start configuring environment details. For that, click on Add Monitoring Configuration. Select the monitoring solution as PostgreSQL along with the version that you already installed on the agent machine, with the monitor profile PostgreSQL monitoring and monitor type as PostgreSQL. Further to this, let's add environment configuration. Provide the environment name. Provide the host details. It is going to be localhost. We will keep it as it is. Provide the default port which will be used to communicate with the database. Leave this field blank. In that case, the username is used as the database name. Provide the username. Provide the password for the database. Provide the Java path under Java collector setting. Please refer tooltip while configuring the Java path. Click on OK and save this policy. So far, we have configured the monitoring policy for PostgreSQL database. Now we will have a look at the agent device and check if monitoring is started. For that, go to Monitoring and Devices and select your agent. Go to Monitors. Click on PostgreSQL instance. We can see that the monitors are discovered for this database. We had used username as the database and we had left database name field blank. So database is discovered with the username and table spaces are also got discovered. So we have successfully enabled the monitoring for PostgreSQL instance. After enabling the configuration, if you still see that the monitors are not discovered or monitoring is not happening, then first thing you can do is check the connectivity with database. For that, go to the PGRKM folder and run the config test utility to verify the connection with the database. We will run the cmd command from here. Provide the host name. Default port is 5432. Default database name is Postgres. Username is Postgres. Provide the password. We can see that the connection with database is successful and these are the parameters or instances that are associated with this database from the KM site. Now, let us try to understand how to enable the remote monitoring for the PostgreSQL database. For that, go to BHOM, Monitoring Policies, and select the policy where you have KM and agent installed. Click on Add Monitoring Configuration. Select the monitoring solution as PostgreSQL. Add the environment configuration. Provide the environment name. Provide the host name for the remote monitoring. Provide the username. We are leaving this PostgreSQL database name field blank, so the username will be used as a database name for the discovery. For tablespace monitoring, select the operating system, it is Windows. Provide the OS username and password to monitor the tablespace remotely. Provide the password. Save this policy. Let's verify if remote monitoring has started. For that, go to the BHOM console, click on Devices and search for remote device that we have added in the policy. Click on Monitors. So here we can see that remote monitoring is started on this server and we see that monitors are discovered. The database name is discovered with the username that we had provided while configuring the policy. The table spaces are also discovered. There is any issue with the remote monitoring, then there is a WMI connectivity test which will verify the connection between agent device and the remote database device. For this utility to run, we need to provide the host name along with the username and password. After configuring the monitoring policy, if you still see that the monitoring is not happening, then we can enable the debug log for the KM. For that, go to monitoring policy, click on edit. At global level, the logging confirms that all of the patrol for PostgreSQL environments are correctly configured. At the environment level, the logging enables debugging operation for all PostgreSQL instances configured in this environment. So we will enable the debug logging for environment level. For that, go to monitoring, go to environment setting and enable the logging checkbox. Save the policy. So we have enabled the debugging here. PSL log will get enabled under Patrol Home log folder, starting with PGR. Here are the logs getting created for the PostgreSQL KM. Java logs will get created under PGRKM folder and Java folder. Here are the logs, those are getting created for PostgreSQL KM. So we have successfully enabled the PSL as well as Java logs for this KM. Now let's have a look at some common error messages that can be seen in debug log files. As part of this troubleshooting, you can verify monitoring username, hostname, and Java path from the policy. Monitor table space locally. Ensure that the patrol agent user has a read access to the file system path and to execute the df-k command on the table space file system. If you are monitoring table spaces remotely, ensure that the user that you enter while configuring the monitoring of your database through site or BHOM console has a read access to the file system path and to execute the df-k command on the table space file system. The table space paths are determined by using the query that we see in the screenshot. Now let me quickly summarize this session. We have discussed system requirement, understood how to verify database connectivity locally from config test utility, configured the DB monitoring using BHOM console, learn how to enable the KM debug logs and check debug logs and act on error messages. Now I will leave you with list of references for more information on this topic. Thank you for joining this webinar. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel to get notification on product related updates.